Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special edition of the SummerSlam post show recap. Oh my God, what a night it was at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Unbelievable evening, to say the very least. And we're just going to dive right in. Because it's a major pay-per-view, we will include the pre-show fights. We started it off. First fight of the night of the entire event, Andrade Cien Almas and Selena Vega versus Rusev and Lana. And Andrade Cien Almas and Selena Vega gets the victory. Decent fight, good match. Yes, the ending wasn't the best to desire. It should have been a lot more better than what we thought, but solid TV quality fight, solid fight to get for all you social media people. If you saw this on Facebook Live, if you saw this on YouTube, this was an okay match. Nothing bad to say about it. I could give this at least 1.5 to 2 for the effort. The ending was a little bit of a bad ending. Selena using the ropes to get the win, but all in all, I thought a decent fight out of the pre-show matches. It was what we expected. So Anthony Foyo, come on in. Give me your quick thoughts about the match.
It was about 1.5 for me. It was a solid fight, okay for what it was. Typical kickoff show style match. That's really all I can say on that. So the outcome was never in doubt. I wasn't at all surprised, but I was surprised that Aiden English didn't get involved and didn't end up costing Rusev Day again, and then really breaking the camel back there. So here's what it is. So solid 1.5. That's the best I can go. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on the opening on our first official kickoff show match.
What did you rate it, Florio?
1.5.
I'd say 1.5 is the correct rating. It was a decent fight. Nothing really special to write home about. Obviously, you wanted to basically set the tone for the entire night, but yeah, it was your typical kickoff style match. So nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree. 1.5. Okay, bout. Very glad that English did not get involved this time. Although, we still had, the guys distracting the girls and the girls distracting the guys during the match. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. Let's move on.
All right, and we do indeed move on to a fight that Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock were both jumping on WWE for the fact that this fight should have been on the main card. And by the looks of it, and especially after this fight, I could definitely make a vouch here that this should have been on the main card. No doubt about it. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title, the winner of the bout, and still the Cruiserweight champion of the world, Cedric Alexander. Anthony Florio, half man, half amazing. He did it again, successfully defended the title.
The only reason why he did it again was because of the fact that Drew Gulak's running mates, Gentleman Jack Gallagher and D. Brian Kendrick were not involved. That's the reason being. And yes, you're also right. This should have been on the main card. There was a couple of Raw matches tonight that should have been in this spot, Balor and Corbin. But it is what it is. So 2.5 to 3. That's the rating I can give it. I was hoping they would have gotten a little more time. But it just goes to show you folks that 205 Live continues to be the best weekly episodic show on WWE TV right now. You really have to tune in to this show following SmackDown Live on Tuesday nights on the WWE Network. It flies by. It's an easy watch. You get 2 good matches, and yeah, you do get a squash, but at least the squashes are done with purpose. So that's all I can say on that. So we'll see what happens going forward here. I assume the feud continues, but we'll have to wait and see, or if Drake Maverick decides to name a new contender. So, really nothing more to say here. I'm going to give this about 2.5 to 3 for the effort. I was hoping for a little more, but still a good match for what it was. Should have been on the main card, but just what it is. So, Bullock, Cedric Alexander did it again, and for the first of 3 times tonight, we got to see your favorite move, the Tope Kilo, and our favorite referee was the referee for this match. Mr. Danilo on video.
Yep, we saw all that in this match here. I mean, our Florio and I's favorite referee, Danilo and Fabio, and like you said, the first of 3 Tope con Hilos that we saw tonight. So, yeah, so 2.5 to 3. I do agree. I mean, this was certainly a good cruiserweight title match here. So, yeah. So what's next up for Cedric Alexander now that he's successfully defended the title against Drew Gulak? So, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So, nothing more to say. So Fletch, I give it to you.
The third fight of the pre-shows and the last of the pre-shows for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship. The champions, the B Team, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas versus the challengers, the Revival, the winners of the bout, and still the Raw Tag Team Champions. The B Team successfully defended the titles, and okay, chicanery, buffoonery, whatever you want to call it. The referee got distracted in a little bit of a moment here. Basically, it looked like that the Revival should have won the titles. The referee got caught up. Then a little bit of basically, I think it was Curtis, it was a Bo Dallas hitting the pile, reversing the small package into the advantage of the B Team. 1, 2, 3. That's how they win the titles, successfully defend the titles. They are the most luckiest guys in Brooklyn tonight. Michael Bullock, go. It's yours.
Yeah, luck was the key word there for the B Team. So 1 star. That's all I can give it. So I really got nothing more to say for you. I mean, Didi Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. Kind of a lame ending, but there's one thing I want to say on the cruiserweight one, even though I don't really follow it too much. Didn't Gulak kind of mess up at the end there? Because Alexander kind of forced him to roll on top of him at one point, because it just seemed like he's just pulling at him. I mean, it was just like a big botcheroo right there. As for the Revival and the B Team, watching Bo turn around and look as he's going backwards, please. One of these days, these little lame endings that they're doing to keep this team with the titles is going to catch up with them. And I'm hoping we'll eventually maybe have Rollins and Ambrose knock these guys off, because it doesn't seem like any of the other tag teams are able to keep them from having these little botcheroos. So I'm going to go a little higher than Bullock. I'm going to give it probably about 2 stars, because the match was going okay until the ending. So not much more I'm going to say about it. So I guess I throw it to Florio.
Yeah.
Actually,
but yeah, MF.
Let me take it for a spin for a second. I can only give this about 1.5. I can't give anything more than that. It's what you expected from a Raw Tag Team title fight. I'm sorry. I know I'm being very down on Raw about certain things, but don't worry. There is a major league silver lining because there was one fight on the Raw side that blew my socks off. We'll get it in a minute, but it at the time is what you expected on the Raw Tag Team division. But yeah, it is a 1.5-star fight. The kookiness is kind of what the hell, but again, it's what you expect. Nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, now you can go.
Did you give your rating for the Cruiserweight match, MF? I don't remember hearing one.
I think I gave it what did I give it? Oh, I didn't. I was gonna give it like a 3-star 2.5 to 3-star rating.
Okay. Yeah, I just
So
wanted
I'll go there. Yeah.
Just wanted to be sure on that.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. This was 1.5 to 2 for me. When it comes to the kickoff fights, the cruiserweights far and away were the best thing. I mean, but then again, we all knew they were gonna be the best part of that going forward, going in. Agree to disagree with Dee. For the most part, I agree with her rating, but as far as who will eventually dethrone the B team as the Raw Tag Team champions, it's not going to be Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. That ship sailed. You remember a year ago at this time, they won the Raw Tag Team Championship in that epic match against The Bar, which was one of the 2 show stealers that Raw had a year ago. And of course, with what happened on this night, I really don't think they're going to be going for those belts anytime soon. If you're going to ask me who I think will eventually dethrone them, I think the B team's finally getting a face pop, and it's because of that. I think we got 2 monster heels that know a thing or two about tag team gold. You know what I mean? A couple of big boys by the name of Acom and Rezar. I think they're the ones who are going to eventually dethrone the B team for the Raw
So
Tag
you're,
Team.
so you're saying AOP?
I'm saying AOP.
All right.
I will be more than A-OK with that. So really nothing more to say on that. 1.5 to 2. Yes, I told you the other night. I said it. I wouldn't be surprised if the B team found yet another way to get it done. And of course, it had to be another way to do it. So nothing more to say. It's now time to get to the main card. What a way to start it off. Monday Night Raw, doing what we do best, stealing the show at SummerSlam.
For the Intercontinental Championship, the champion, Dolph Ziggler versus the challenger, Seth Rollins. As many of you know, Dolph Ziggler had Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath, in his corner. In the corner of Seth Rollins, well, just a goddamn lunatic named Dean Ambrose, who just came back from 9 months of injury last Monday night on Raw. So he's there. So when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout and new Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins. He burned it down at the Barclays tonight. Dee Woodson, you lead off, my dear.
Seth freaking Rollins did it again. He's got the title. Awesome match. I'm giving it between 4.25 to 4.5. It was. I mean, for me, I could call this, the fight of the night because it was just totally amazing. I mean, there's not really. Maybe one other one that you could argue with it would be your fight of the night or co-fight of the night. This one was really very good. I really enjoyed this. Dean Ambrose. If you haven't seen this, you've got to watch Dean Ambrose's facial expressions during this match because I mean they were priceless. Yeah, Seth got busted open during the match, but it was still one heck of a match. Definitely a showstopper. Definitely the best way to start off SummerSlam. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. I guess I toss it back to Fletch.
We were talking about that SummerSlam how the title hasn't changed hands in a number of years. How back in the day, the title was literally a hot potato for the first 5 SummerSlams that the title changed hands. The only time it didn't was back in 93. And then there was a little bit of a time where it, the belt wasn't changing hands. Gee whiz. Just a couple of nights ago, we were talking about that on the pre-show, on the preview for SummerSlam, and now it happened again. The title changed hands for the 14th time in SummerSlam's history. The Intercontinental Championship has jumped to a new champion. Unfreaking believable. I can't believe it. But give it up to Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. They tore the house down. The crowd was red hot. This almost got 5 stars. I couldn't believe it. The first fight of the night of SummerSlam almost got the 5-star limit, and it was pushing it. It was dangerously close. I actually got to disagree with D.D. Woodson. I got to give it 4 3/4. I thought this was an unbelievable way to start off SummerSlam. Great match, great psychology. The body of work of everybody involved was amazing. This was without a doubt, like, you could not have written a better script to jump off SummerSlam. You know what? I gotta give it up to Monday Night Raw. I gotta give it up to Ziggler and Rollins. I mean, they threw the best 2 out there, and literally, they threw the best fight of Monday Night Raw and threw that as the opening fight of the night, and I cannot disagree with the logic or the booking or their idea of what they were going to do. They really set the bar wicked high for everybody. I even said to somebody, I was like, good luck to anybody to try to top this fight. I mean, I know Floyd was grinning from ear to ear hearing me praise Monday Night Raw, but I got to do it. I got to be, I got to be, quote unquote, the man to tell it like it is. But Raw jumped off with a bang, and I mean, not bad to say the very least. Yeah, it was as good as it could have gotten, but 4 3/4 of a star for me. Anthony, go ahead. It's yours.
Wow. That made me very happy, man, without a doubt. One of 3 banner moments from Monday Night Raw tonight. And this is a great one here. What a way to start it off. Seth Rollins, I do have to correct you, MF. This is the 15th time that the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship has changed hands.
14 going into tonight. This is the 15th. Okay, I apologize.
14. Nah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, you were right. I did a little research recently. In the first, 31 SummerSlams now, but before tonight, the previous 30. In the first 15 SummerSlams, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship changed hands on 12 occasions. The previous 15, that was from 1988 up to 2002. From 2003 up until last year, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship only changed hands twice. Well, this only marks the 3rd time in the last 15, 16 years that title has changed hands, and what a way to do it. I could probably say this for me ranks up there as one of the 5 greatest Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship matches in the history of SummerSlam. Greatest one, we all know, Bret Hart and the British Bulldog in 92. A very close second, the Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon ladder match from 95. Of course, you got to include Triple H and The Rock, their ladder match from 98. I mean, those were the 3 best right there. And then you also got to throw, of course, you can't forget about the classic between Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect in 91. And what other one did I want to throw out there? Of course, Stone Cold and Owen in 97. That was one of the great ones as well. And Edge and Lance Storm in 01, RVD and Benoit in 02. And it lost its luster for so many years. And then, of course, one other great IC title match in SummerSlam history, 89 with Ravishing Rick Rude and the Ultimate Warrior. This one here tonight ranks just entered that list. I mean, I can't rank all 10 of them off the top of my head, but this goes into my top 10 as far as greatest Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship matches in the SummerSlam history. I mean, wow. I agree. I agree a little bit with Dee Dee's rating, 4.25 to 4.5 stars. When it comes to the Monday Night Raw side of the card, far and away the fight of the night. None of the other Raw matches were remotely good. All the other Raw matches, bleh. Even though 2 of them produced banner moments from Monday Night Raw, especially the final one, if you know what I mean. And that's the main reason why I'm a happy man tonight. Even though Raw didn't deliver, this is the only Raw match that delivered. If it had been like any of the others, this would have been one of the worst nights for Monday Night Raw. But far and away the fight of the night, 4.25 to 4.5. I'm telling you, these 2 are money. That's all there is to say. The chemistry is there. Far and away better than the Iron Man match. That's all I can say about this. Where was this in the Iron Man match? That's all I can say. So, and hey, Dean and Drew they limited Dean and Drew's involvement. Bravo. They booked this thing perfect. Well done. The only good Raw match of the night. All the other ones sucked, even though 2 more banner moments came out of it. So 4.25, 4.5 stars. One of the fights of the night, if not the fight of the night. I agree with Dee Dee. There's one other that we can make an argument for on the other side. Ugh. But it is what it is. So Michael Bullock, I mean, how do you follow that? What a way to start off the main card of SummerSlam. Monday Night, only one.
Yeah, like you said, Florida, this was definitely a great way to start off the main version of SummerSlam, and boy howdy, this really produced 4.75 of a star. And this was indeed the fight of the night, hands down. I mean, who'd have thunk it that the first match of SummerSlam would be the fight of the night? But then again, when you got 2 of the best right now on the Raw side, and Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, they produced really good matches in their feud, and this one certainly did not disappoint. Great job by both men, and yeah, I mean, wouldn't you say, Florio, as of right now, these are your top 2 guys on Raw?
When it comes to in-ring talent, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So 4.75, easily the fight of the night. So let's just move on, Fletch.
All right, and we move on to the SmackDown side and their first official SummerSlam fight of the evening for the Tag Team Championship. It was the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers, the winners of the bout via disqualification, and well, they're not gonna be the champions tonight. However, they probably will get a future title shot down the line. The New Day wins. Unfortunately, they do not become the 5-time WWE World Tag Team Champions. Unfortunately they don't do that. And no, Dee Dee Woodson, I wasn't doing the hip thing either. I'm just saying. Good match. Suck for the ending. The ending of that fight stunk. I didn't like the ending. However, I understood it. It was okay. It was necessary because it furthers the storyline a little more. This was about I could say about 2.5 stars. Decent fight for SmackDown Live. Almost got 10 minutes. According to this, it got about 9 minutes, 45 seconds. It probably got close to about between the 9:30, 10-minute mark, depending what site you're going off of. This is Wikipedia. They got it at 9:45. But at the end of the day, the Bludgeons looks a little weaker. the New Day has a right to say, hey, we deserve another shot at the belts because of how close they came to winning tonight. And they were a heartbeat away. If they would have hit that big ending combination with Xavier Woods, we'd be talking about 5-time champions here tonight. But because of Eric Rowan basically using that sledgehammer, billy club, whatever the hell that type of weapon it is, because he used that, that caused for the DQ, that caused the wreckage at the end. Obviously, the fans were not happy at the Barclays. I know I wasn't really too thrilled about the ending. I think that's kind of the story of SmackDown tonight. Great matches, but some of the endings on their fights kind of left bitter taste in the mouth. Even though they had probably a lot of great matches here tonight, some of them were just kind of grinned the teeth at the end. So you might see us take quarter points, half points away from what could be great ratings tonight. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Anthony Floyo, it's yours. I say 2 to 2.5 for this fight. You say?
I kind of agree, but a little part of me wants to go a little bit higher because I thought it was a fun little sprint. I mean, leave it to the New Day to get a passable match out of the Bludgeons. I could throw in bonus points for that alone. The match overall was 2.5, but I'm going to throw in a bonus star, and I'm going to make it 3.5 because of the fact that New Day made the Bludgeons actually look good. Go figure. I mean, Harper and Rowan, not exactly the sharpest tools in the shed, but, you give them, quality opponents to work with. And, it's been a theme, when weaker workers work with quality talent, the outcomes can end up being better. So, let me see. What was I going to say here? 3.5 stars overall. I mean, it was a hella fun match. The finish made sense. I know there are going to be some who are going to complain and poo-poo all over it. But the dominant champs finally found the true threat, and they were unsure of how to handle it. And it sets up an even better rematch. I mean, because with the DQ finish, New Day will be entitled to an automatic rematch down the road. Could it be inside the Devil's Playground next month? Maybe. I mean, they did it last year with the Usos. They stole the show, as we all know. So we'll see what happens. But obviously, with the mallet being used, they only did it for one reason, because they knew on this night, like, Roman's like, yeah, we can't beat them. So let's just get ourselves intentionally disqualified so we can hang on to our titles. We have the champion's advantage. We're going to use it here. So match quality was like 2.5, maybe 3, but I'm going to give it 3.5 overall because of the fact that New Day made the Bludgeons actually look good and ended up being a lot better than I initially thought. I thought this was going to be black, but no, leave it to the New Day, man. To me, the New Day are the best thing going in the tag team division on SmackDown Live, even though, you have the Usos there in the bar in that loaded tag team division, and the Bludgeons are the champs. But the New Day right now, they're a cut above the rest right now. So nothing more to say on that. So Michael Bullock, 2.5 to 3 maybe overall, but maybe a little bonus because of the fact that New Day made no higher than 3.5.
You know what? I got to agree with you there, Florio. I mean, 2.5 stars on the match by itself, but you got to give it 3.5 overall because, I mean, I do agree. I think the New Day certainly made the Bludgeons look good in this match. I mean, yeah, it's a tough thing to do, but you got to certainly give it up for the New Day. I mean, they certainly know how to put on good matches. I mean, say what you want about the gimmick, but when it comes to their wrestling, they certainly know how to do it. And they're certainly the best thing going in that tag team division on SmackDown Live right now. And that's one of the reasons why the SmackDown tag team division is on the rise. Well, while on the Raw side, that certainly needs one hell of a work job, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, they'll definitely get their rematch because they won by disqualification. I think it could go down in Hell in a Cell, maybe inside that structure. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see as the road to Hell in a Cell begins. So nothing more to say. Dee Whitson. I mean, you got to at least agree. I mean, the match. I mean, may have been 2.5, but because of what the New Day was able to do with the bludgeons, I mean, you got to at least say it's a little higher.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that high though. I may go 2 to 3/4 to 3 for a total. The match, yeah, it was going really good until the DQ, but yeah, New Day ended up making them look a little bit better than they would have looked on their own. Um, but yeah, I don't think I'd go too much higher than probably a 3 on it. So not much more I had to say about it. Fletch, I give it to you.
All right, and then we shift gears to Monday Night Raw and Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens for the Money in the Bank contract. The winner of the bout in about 2 minutes. It was ever in doubt. The monster among men, the monster in the bank. Braun Strowman wins the bout. Anthony, you made a gripe about this, about why was this on the SummerSlam card? Why did we have this fight? It looked like your synopsis, your theory about it was absolutely right. He crushed them in no time.
With all due respect, can we just call cutout here? Because there's no reason.
You want to do it? All
Come
right.
on, you right?
Normally I don't do cutouts on pay-per-views, but if you want a cutout, I'll cut it. Guys, do you guys want it? Cutout?
Yeah, make it a cutout.
Cutout? Wow.
Sure, go ahead.
Wow. I can't believe it.
It was a dub, man.
The first ever cutout on a pay-per-view.
Why would anybody want to talk about this garbage?
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little surprised right now. I'm just because normally we it's fair enough. Yeah, I leave it to a vote, and you guys want to cut out, we're cutting it out. No problem.
Let me just make one quick thought here. You are absolutely what pointless and unnecessary filler. That's all there is. That's all there was to it. I mean, Kurt Angle said it was absurd. Now you know why he said it was absurd. I mean, that's all there is to say on that.
But who wanted to go through with it?
Stephanie McMahon and
Stephanie McMahon. Yep.
And Constable Baron Corbin.
Yep.
And he is later too. So
all right. So what we had. So
I know it's a pay-per-view and we have to talk about everything, but
and that's another reason why Monday Night Raw has been on the downside.
Well,
even though their show this week was good.
Yeah, no, and totally agree and everything else. But if I leave it to a vote and you guys call cutout, it's cut out. We're not gonna fight over this. So next thing we did have was for the SmackDown Women's title triple threat. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and the reigning champion Carmella. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout and new SmackDown Women's Champion, she's done it for the 7th time. 7th heaven for Charlotte Flair. But it came with a price. Becky Lynch went straight fire on her best friend. And oh yes, the tea was spilt big time on this one. Anthony Florio, go ahead. You lead off. Wow, is all I can say about this fight.
I hope you're proud of your girl there, MF. I mean, I know your love for her has just gone sky high now. So that's all there is.
Not only was my love for her going sky high, but did you hear that crowd in the Barclays? They're definitely pro Becky Lynch.
Yeah, 16,169 people agree with you there, MF, without a doubt. sleeper fight of the night. I mean, this was unbelievable. I mean, I can honestly say this was the better of the two women's matches here tonight. 3 3/4 stars. I mean, this was an unbelievable match. I mean, once again, theme of the night. Weaker talent working with quality talent. Everybody loves to poo-poo all over Carmella, Michael Bullock, and Edie Woodson. But, it is what it is. I mean, say what you want about her, but I can honestly say this was Carmella's best showing here tonight. I mean, she really brought it. I mean, leave it to the two high-class athletes like Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch to make a nothing talent like Carmella look incredible. And even better than that, for Michael Bullock and Edie Woodson, this is a banner night for them too because, two women they love to hate got their comeuppance here tonight. We'll get into the other one later, but but the Queen does it again. Natural selection on Becky Lynch for the 1-2-3. I believe Mr. Bullock and my favorite official did this match again, Mr. Danilo Anfibio. He did the match again, and oh boy, did he have a tough time controlling this one, especially after what happened at the end. And I think this heel turn is going to do wonders for Becky Lynch. I mean, the fans are still going to cheer for her, even though she has snapped and turned heel. Becky and Charlotte the last time, it was good, but could have been better, mainly because Charlotte had help, in the form of Ric Flair and Dana Brooke. But I don't think we'll have to worry about either one of those two here. Dana Brooke's gone, Ric Flair retired, so yeah. But man, what a match! Unbelievable. That crowd was hot for it. Much better than I expected. Like I said, I'll go as far as to call it the sleeper fight of the night. I thought this was going to be a TV quality match at best, but this thing over-delivered and defied my expectations. Unbelievable. 3 3/4. Unreal. What a match. What a finish and what a post-match. Everything well done. So, Queen does it again, and you heard it here first. I think Carmella's going to get a rematch, maybe at Hell in a Cell. If we're going to get the big money match with Becky and Charlotte, save it for Evolution. That's all I'm going to say. You do that, you got a gold mine in Long Island. MF and SmackDown Live, make a note of that. So, nothing more to say here. 3 3/4 stars. What a finish. And wow, I'm still stunned. Wow. Michael Bullock, how do you follow that?
Oh yeah, 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, this was definitely, a sleeper fight. I mean, I really wasn't expecting much out of this match, but putting Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in there with Carmella, I mean, it made her look good. I mean, even in defeat, and this was certainly Carmella's best match as the SmackDown Women's Champion. But, I mean, yes, me and Dee Woodson are rejoicing. Our national nightmare is over. Carmella is no longer the SmackDown Women's Champion. And yes, we're grinning even more regarding another match we'll definitely get into later on. But, yeah, I think this heel turn for Becky Lynch is definitely going to do her wonders. Even though there will probably be some fans who are still going to cheer for her. But we'll see how it goes. And I think maybe somewhere down the line, I think it'll be Becky and Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title. Maybe at Hell in a Cell. We'll just have to wait and see. But man, Becky Lynch brought out the straight fire after the match, and in a bad way. And I know you certainly really enjoyed that. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, Carmella, no longer the SmackDown Women's Champion, and I guess we can rejoice.
Carmella, there's no crying in wrestling. Yes, you lost your title. Grow a set and get on with it and move on. You already know you have a rematch clause. Okay? Get a set and move. Definitely the sleeper fight of the night. It was an awesome match. And yeah, I'm very happy that she lost. But who didn't see the heel turn building? the minute that Paige did the stipulation that if Charlotte beat Carmella, that she would be the third member in there. I mean, you could see Becky's face when Carmella tapped out. She was not happy about it, you know, and she would put on a fake smile around Charlotte. You could tell she was not happy with her all the way up to this match, and then Carmella playing the little games through the match where Carmella hit Becky in the back and then pretended she was laid out and making it look like Charlotte did it. I mean, come on. Really? Do we have to play childish games in a wrestling match? But hey, it was still a very good match. Yes, Carmella, even though she was playing games, she still looked really good in the match for a change. But, it is what it is. The Queen Bee's got the title again. Unfortunately, it came at a cost of losing her best friend. And now we have possibly 2 matches set up where we have Carmella's rematch and possibly in the near future Becky versus Charlotte. So I'll go. I'll agree with you guys about the 3 3/4. So not much more to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, batten down the hatches because I saw a Twitter thing not too long ago, a tweet from one of a certain panelists that said, warning to duck and cover, boys, because there's going to be a rant. And it's not because about the title fight, no, it's because of where it was placed on the card. WWE Championship match, the phenomenal AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. The winner of the bout, via disqualification, was Samoa Joe. Reason why was because Joe got on the mic and talked a little bit about AJ's wife, and he went there again. AJ went ballistic outside the ring, grabbed a steel chair, and then proceeded to beat the holy hell out of the Samoan submission machine. My boy Mike Chioda had no choice but to call for the bell and the DQ. But I don't think at that point AJ really gave a damn because he wanted it to rip Samoa Joe's head off. And I don't blame him. Michael Bullock, you lead off. And then batten down the hatches, boys, because Mama was mad. And then some. But you start off, Bullock.
But yeah, this was an awesome match until the disqualification. But I'm gonna give it about. I'll give it about 3.5, 3.5. I'll give it. The DQ finish. To me. It was fine because I think WWE wants to continue this feud, and who knows, maybe it'll go down at Hell in a Cell. But man, Samoa Joe went there again. Holy smokes! Telling AJ's wife Wendy and what looks like his daughter that daddy's not coming home, but I'll be your new daddy. And I was watching this next door with my uncle and my cousin and her boyfriend, and we were all shocked when we were like, "Oh no, he did not just say that." And AJ Styles went ballistic, and quite frankly, I don't blame him because he didn't care if he won or lost. He wanted to rip Samoa Joe apart. Come on, guys. How would you feel if someone talked, talked, said things like that about your wife or your children. I mean, come on, Fletch, how would you feel?
No, I agree. I would have been incensed. Somebody would have had to hold me back. Because I probably would have gone off. I know
I would have done the same thing too, and I don't give a damn.
Yeah, come on, man. There's certain things you just don't cross the line on, and women and children, when it comes with family, those are supposed to be off limits.
But Samoa Joe didn't even
Samoa
keep it
Joe
off
poked the bear, and boy, did he pay a price for it. So
yeah, I mean, Floria, would you do the same thing?
You better believe it.
Because I know how much of a family man you are, and if somebody attacked your family like that, you go ballistic as well. And I'm pretty sure Dee Dee Woodson would agree as well. So
please don't give Dee Dee any more ammunition as she already has.
I'm just making an example.
Please, I know, but she's got plenty of ammo right now.
But
so
here's the thing, Fletch. The placement of the match, I mean, at around that time, that's where I got a problem with it. Because the WWE title is your most prestigious title, correct, guys?
Absolutely.
And for them to put it at that point, I thought it would be later on in the show, but where it was placed,
it kind of was more like midway. It kind of was like it was like about midway through the SummerSlam.
I mean, for them to put it midway, I'm sorry, I'm crying foul over this one. The WWE title is your most prestigious title in history, and you put it midway through? No, I'm not going to stand for it. And WWE, you idiots. Why would you do this? Ugh. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't. You know what, Dee Dee, just go on.
Yeah, I think you just hit the nail on the head on why I want to rant about this. I mean, what the hell? You haven't done Corbin and Balor yet. You haven't done Miz and Bryan yet, and you put the WWE title right here? What the hell are you thinking? I mean, sheesh. Any of us could have placed this in a better location than where you guys put it. This should never be a mid-card placement. Never. Ever. Ay. That's the most stupidest thing I think I've ever seen WWE do. Well, no, I can't say that. They've done some other stupid things. But ay. Your biggest night of summer, the biggest party as you call it, and you screw it up by putting SmackDown's biggest title in the middle of the show and then put two other matches that shouldn't even be on top after your biggest title. If this is the stupid monkey writers that came up with how this show was laid out, then they need to be smacked around. They need to be the ones that Strowman's going out there and busting the butts for and throwing them out in the woodshed so I can beat the crap out of them, because I tell you, I do not like the fact that they degraded this title that much by putting it in the middle of the dadgum show and then giving two other matches that don't deserve to be that high on the card more prestige than your championship that you have for SmackDown. I'm sorry. I think this title should have been where, if not, I know it wouldn't be the last match, but at least the match before. This should have been like your match number 9, not right smack dab in the middle of the daggum show. The match itself, yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I think I probably would have lost it just like AJ Styles did, and then some, because I'm already losing it now because of how they placed this daggum show. But really, do we really have to degrade a championship this much? I'm going to give the match 4 stars because it was that daggum good. And trust me, AJ Styles alone deserves 5 stars for going off on Joe for him opening his daggum mouth in the middle of the match, or there at the end of the match. Wendy herself deserves a star for just calming him down after the match. And that poor little girl seeing her dad busted open. I mean, you could tell she was in tears at one point because of Joe scaring the crap out of her because of what he was doing to her daddy. I mean, yeah, this was definitely one heck of a match, and definitely did not deserve where it was placed and how they degraded it by the placement that it was put in. So I'm not going to say anything more because I could probably go all night ranting on this. So you guys just take it and move on.
And the thing is, like I said, the prestige of the title. I mean, not just AJ Styles wearing it, but look at the names of the superstars that have held that title. I mean, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker. I mean, so many superstars. I could go on and on. And even for them to put it midway through SummerSlam instead of late,
even the two guys
I think it deserved to be. I'm sorry.
Even the 2 guys in the main event, they both have held that title. You've had a lot of people hold that title, but still, it should not be in mid card.
And I agree with everything you guys are saying, but remember, WWE has done this before. WrestleMania 8 was a mid-card fight. As a matter of fact, it was in the mid-card because after that we had the 5-minute intermission of WrestleMania 8. So, and I get where you guys are coming from. You guys are making valid points, but it's not like this is the first time WWE has done this before.
Oh, I know it's not.
We've had WrestleManias that started out with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Exactly.
And
I would sit here and bitch about that too.
And we were all flipping out about it. So I get it, and I totally get it with you guys. You guys are absolutely right. But remember, we said there was 4 mega fights that was promoted in this SummerSlam. And I understand the logic. I understand why you guys are upset. No doubt about it. We have a gripe, and a major league gripe, for this to happen. But that's how it happened. And the thing is that it kind of looked like they really loaded it up, where they gave SmackDown basically the best prime moments of the night. Because think about it. You had the women's title fight, the WWE Championship right behind that, and then the next fight was a fight that was 8 years in the making. So for me, I understand the anger. I understand the hostility. I totally would be saying, "What the hell are you doing?" But I can't really fault WWE here, even though absolutely right. It should have been at least the second to the last fight, maybe much later in the night. But the way the show was going, maybe they were thinking, you probably get this out now because of the fact that you got the big play, because they were probably harping on possibly trying to steal the fans away from, because you had, Night of the Living, Night of the Walking Dead, or the Fear of the Walking Dead, some other big programs that you had at that time slot. Maybe throw the big fights now and then save it for later in the night. But then again, who knows? But then again, you brought out SmackDown Live and you shined the biggest light on that fact, and these were the
But
3 biggest fight of the evening.
you
So
want to know what was opposite? Sharknado.
true, and we all know how Sharknado goes. Come on, so I
Sharknado
mean,
5. Kevin says Sharknado 5 because he follows Sharknado.
yeah,
It's supposed to be the final Sharknado.
it's supposed to be the final one.
It's what they put opposite of it.
Yeah,
Still, I'm not upset with the fact that they put the 3 SmackDown matches together. But Miz and Bryan should not be after your main title. That's my biggest gripe.
yeah.
And then you put another one that shouldn't be over a biggest title, being Corbin and Balor. Those two should have been earlier, at least earlier in the night, or at least before the 2 titles that they had just got through doing.
Fair enough.
If it would have been anywhere in the last hour, that would have been fine. But this was the midpoint. This was not the last hour. And yeah, we got like a little mini intermission after the title because you have the Elias segment and all this crap too. But still, you have 2 matches that should not be after that. And that alone, I'm not degrading the people in it. It's just that having those 2 matches after that just
You're just questioning the logic of the bookers.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense because it makes the SmackDown Championship, the WWE title, look, like it's a toy belt. It makes it look like it's not worth anything. I mean, you even had Nakamura defending his title higher than this.
Yeah.
That right there, that is stupid booking, the way they booked that right there. I mean, this should have been at least where they put Jeff Hardy and Nakamura. Because that title is not the biggest title on SmackDown. WWE title is. So why the hell would you put your big title in the middle of the show? I don't care what's opposite of it. I mean, you have a lot of good matches that did come after it. Yes, they may not have been as high of a rating, but they're still good matches. They still could have drawn people in. But you don't degrade your title by placing it in a place where you have the lower titles or the lower card matches after it. That's stupid. Yeah, no matter if they would have put it at the beginning of the show or where, I probably would still be griping about it because it doesn't deserve to be there. Your big titles should always be near the end of the show in that last hour, not second hour. That's stupid.
All right. Fair enough. That's DD Woodson for you, ladies and gentlemen. Now back to the grand scheme of things, what the overall feel of the match, and that is, yeah, I agree. 4 to 4.5, 4 to 4.25 stars. This was a great matchup, great title fight, no doubt about it. And the DQ finish was expected, I guess, in a way. This actually protects both men, in a way, but it also sets up for a really, really, really good down the line, and we'll go from there. There's really nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, go ahead, give me your thoughts.
I agree with everything that was said here. Absolutely everything. I mean, these stupid idiot muttonheads who had the nerve and the gall to place the WWE Championship in the middle of the card. I mean, questionable booking. Yeah, you see this? You stupid idiot muttonheads. You're all going on the list here tonight, you monkey riders, because the way you placed this card, the way you placed it on this card was a spit in the face and a slap in the face to every single WWE champion, all 50 plus men who have worn what you see in my screenshot right there. Your John Cena's, your Bruno Sammartino's, who's rolling over in his grave right now, I'm sure. But criminy, man. Are you kidding me? That's all there is to say on that. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, very upset about that. I mean, the United States Heavyweight Championship match was the main event of SmackDown Live at SummerSlam. No, absolutely not. That should have been the SmackDown Live main event, or maybe the other match. I don't know. But all reining aside, I agree with Didi's rating. It was 4 stars. Great match, good heat, great callbacks to their previous bouts, and we had a DQ finish, with AJ and Nakamura, so it's only going to lead to a rematch. It's going to be Hell in a Cell, and it's going to be inside Hell in a Cell. So really nothing more to say on this. I mean, Didi made all my points for me. Virtual slap in the face to every WWE champion who's ever won the gold. So that's all I can say about that. So if we had booked it, we would have made it at least, at the worst, the second to last fight of the night. In our perfect world, this would have been the main event. But obviously, of course, because of who the main event was, that wasn't going to happen. So I got faith. One day they'll get it. One day. Come on, Jesus, let's make it happen. 4 stars. Nothing more to say. I don't know if Bullock went. I hope he did. But if not,
I believe he was the one that.
Well, yeah. Well,
yeah,
I did. But yeah, I let off, and I need to make a correction on the rating. I have to give it. I gotta say it was 4 stars. I mean, the only reason why I gave it. I gave it 3.5 because it was just I was in the moment because of how upset I was about the booking of it. I mean, that's the only reason why I gave it that low rating. But I completely forgot about the action during all this, so I had to adjust it to 4 stars. So now you can go ahead and Fletch.
All right, so what's gonna happen next? If you thought this was bad, the Yes Movement. Please don't bring the pitchforks and the tiki torches at us. I'm just reporting the news. It was Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, the fight that was 8 years in the making. The winner of the bout was The Miz. He stole it from Daniel Bryan, and I think we saw what happened. If you guys were blind as a bat, there was definitely some cheating here. The Miz ran out of the ring after getting beaten up by Daniel. Maryse was down at ringside. It looked like she gave him some kind of foreign object. I actually looked at the video again. It was brass knuckles. It's brass knucks. He blasts Daniel Bryan coming in, throws the knucks back where Maryse goes, slides in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Miz beats Bryan. And I could hear every member of the Yes Movement yelling, son of a bitch, on this one. Didi Woodson, you lead off. I'll bet. I know Tiger and Callie probably didn't really care about this fight. I know your husband, Kevin, was a little annoyed. I know you were probably really pissed about this fight. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, well, before I get into this, I have to say that out of all the Elias segments, I think I like this one the best because he broke his guitar and we didn't hear him sing. Thank God. I can't stand Elias. So, yeah, I think that was great. I liked the segment before this match where the B team actually said that they wanted Daniel Bryan to win, that the B stood for Daniel Bryan. And they just pretty much kind of snobbed off Miz. So, but yeah. Cheating due to Maryse. I have no problem with the spouses being at ringside or being at the match. I mean, even with AJ Styles, his wife was there. That's great. It's good to have them there to support them. I kind of expected to see Brie out there to support Daniel, but she didn't come out till later on. So, but no, she should not have been involved. She shouldn't have anything to do with the match other than just sitting there giving moral support. I doubt Monroe was in that stroller. Um, she could have been. I don't know. But the match was going great. That I'm not real big fan of Corey Graves because, of course, he kept saying all these moves that Miz was doing that he originated when most of them were Daniel's moves that the Miz took. And then the Miz at the end has the nerve to gripe at Daniel. I mean, trying to say how much better he is when he just got through cheating. Miz, we already know you can't win a match without cheating. You don't have anybody in your corner anymore except for your wife, and she can't be out there right now because of the baby. So you find another way to do it using your wife. Okay, whatever. Still, it makes you look cheap. I'm going to give it about 3.5 to 3.25 because the match was going really great until you decide to cheat, and the referee is apparently not paying attention to see that he had something, which now we know is brass knuckles, that he hit Daniel with just to knock him out. So, yeah, not much more I'd say about it because this would end up being another rant, and I've already think I took care of that in the last match. So, whichever one of you is supposed to take it, please take it.
Yeah, it's Florio.
This is the other match that you can make the argument for fight of the night. I mean, this was 4 to 4.5 stars. I mean, fantastic match with so many top-notch exchanges and storytelling that was so fitting of their history and feud. I mean, between this and the Raw and the Intercontinental match, I mean, these are the two I'm debating on for fight of the night because both of these were really good. I mean, I don't know, but yeah. Didn't I say it the other night? I said it the other night. Don't be surprised if Miz ended up stealing one here. And I know MF poo-pooed all over me for that, but I'm sorry, man. I hate to be the one to tell you, but I was right on that. I mean, I said, don't be surprised if Miz steals one here. So, and he did. And he did it by nefarious means. The feud must continue. This goes to Hell in a Cell, and who knows? Maybe this could be a Hell in a Cell match, too. You don't know. So we'll have to wait and see on that. So, yeah, 4 to 4.5 stars. And Bullock, come on in here. I'm gonna make a point. I'm gonna make a statement. I'm gonna make a statement. I'm gonna make it clear and to the point. And you better agree with me on this, or else I'm gonna poo-poo all over you. The reason why the Miz won this match tonight, I mean, the way he won it tonight, he only did it for one reason, and that is he cannot. Can he beat Daniel Bryan? Hell no, he can't beat Daniel Bryan in a one-on-one match. Hell no.
Exactly, Florio. Exactly. 4 stars. I'm gonna agree with that, but you're absolutely right. You know why he can't beat? You know why he can't beat Daniel Bryan fair and square? Because simple. He cannot beat Daniel Bryan at all. So that's why he had to resort to the brass nuts from his wife Maurice, and that's why he had to cheat to win. Give me a break, Miz. That is why Daniel Bryan was right on you the whole time. That you're a coward, you're soft, you're everything that Daniel Bryan has said about you. And if you think this whole thing is over between you and him, it's far from over. Because Daniel Bryan's not done with you, and he's not going to be done with you until he says it's over. And will Daniel Bryan eventually beat The Miz? there's only one thing to describe it. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. Hell yes. Because the president and vice president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement are not going to stand for the Miz's antics. Fletch, just move on.
All right, and we go back to the side of Monday Night Raw as well. This will most likely be a cutout, so I'm just gonna say it. The Demon returns. Demon Finn Balor versus Constable Baron Corbin. Finn Balor wins the match in about 90 seconds or so. I'm probably guessing this is going to be a cutout, so we're just going to move on. Next fight of the night, and the final fight for SmackDown Live of the evening. The United States title on the line. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy. Nakamura wins the bout, successfully defends the title. Amidst all this chaos and craziness, I believe it goes to
Anthony.
It goes to Anthony. So, Anthony, give me your thoughts on the U.S. title fight.
A solid 3 stars, MF. I mean, solid match that played well off of their personalities. I mean, it was a perfectly fine match that absolutely nobody cared about this deep into the show. They didn't even pop for Jeff's trademark stuff. Yeah, so I'm just gonna park it there because we don't want to go too long into this. So 2.5 to 3 stars. That's the best I can give it. I mean, fine match, but it had no business being in the semi main event spot. So nothing personal, but just the way it is.
2.5 to 3 stars. I do agree. I mean, fine for what it was, but for this to be your main event of SmackDown Live, like I said, totally uncalled for. But I've gone too much off tonight, so I'm not gonna waste any more time ranting. So nothing more to say. Dee Whitson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll agree with the rating, and I kind of got a kick out of what happened after the match, where Orton pops out, walks down to the ramp like he's going to attack Jeff, changes his mind, goes in the back. I mean, Jeff pops up and does his thing for the crowd. So yeah, not much more to say about it. It was a okay match, but it definitely should not have been where it was. So Fletch, it's yours.
One other classic moment of the fight when Jeff Hardy was mocking Nakamura, doing that little twitching thing, and Nakamura is like, "How dare you!" Almost looking at him like, "What are you doing? I do that. You don't do that." And so I thought that was a good kick out of that.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, he went to go for the low blow, and Jeff kind of
Yeah, and Jeff got out of the way. Yeah, he actually, it looks like he was going to try to go for the low blow for the DQ, and nah, didn't get that either. So, entertaining fight, better than anything else. 3 stars for me. Now we go into, all right, one fight that I know you guys have been waiting for. The Raw Women's title. Alexa Bliss puts the title on the line against Ronda Rousey. The winner of the bout in about 4 minutes, and new Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey. She absolutely destroyed Alexa Bliss. This was an absolute one-sided fight. Michael Bullock, history has been made at the Barclays tonight. Ronda Rousey, the first competitor ever in female professional wrestling to be both a UFC and now WWE Women's Champion.
Yep, history was made tonight, but there's one thing I got to talk about here, and I mean the appearance of Natalia. I mean, that to me was a surprise. I mean, I mean, we all thought she wasn't going to be there uh, because of the passing of her father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, but she showed up, and she showed up wearing one of her father's ring gear attires that he wore when he was a member of the Hart Foundation, tagging with Bret the Hitman Hart, and you saw the crowds basically stand and applaud her. And I mean, I gotta tell you, Florio. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I thought for sure that she wasn't going to show up, and understandably so, still grieving with the family. But I think it was just good just to see her there and get that love from the WWE universe.
Absolutely, and she wore the same jacket that her father wore when he and Bret came to the ring, SummerSlam 1990, the night they defeated Demolition in that epic 2 out of 3 falls tag team title match.
Yeah, but I was just happy to see her there after everything that she'd been through. So I mean, yeah, the match was short. I'll give it about 1 star. It was short, but another crowning moment. Ronda Rousey has ended the nightmare of with Alexa Bliss's reign as Raw Women's Champion, and yeah, history was made. She becomes the first person the first woman to hold to have won a USC title and a WWE title, of course, the Raw Women's title. So, congratulations to Ronda Rousey on this achievement. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, another reason to smile tonight.
This was actually entertaining because Rhonda actually kind of was playing with her. Because, Alexa, you could tell she was scared to death. She didn't want to be out there. And kept trying to hide or run away or um, get find a way to get the ref between her and Rhonda so that she wouldn't get attacked. And then Rhonda actually standing there, turning her back to Alexa, come hit me. I'll turn my back. I'll sit down for you. I'll close my eyes. And then when she does finally come in and do it, Rhonda picks her up and slams her, and from there on, it was over. I mean, it was, you pretty much knew that you were going to have a new champion. And, one of the speculations everybody was talking about was Natalya possibly turning. And I'm very thankful that didn't happen tonight because, with the respects to her father, that would not have been appropriate tonight for her to be out there and then turning on Ronda. I think that this was the fitting ending, the fitting way that the match should have gone. I'm definitely going a little higher than Bullock. I'm going to go ahead and shoot it with a 2-star, just because of the fact it was very entertaining. Plus, all the respect that we all have for Natalya and Jim, and of course the Bellows were out there at ringside for this one, and they came in and showed their respect as well. So yeah, it ended up being, it may not have been the best women's match, but it ended up being, for as short as it was, very, very enjoyable to watch her just kind of toy with her. But congratulations to Raw for finally getting a worthy champion that will actually fight and not cheat. So, how much more I have to say about it? I guess I'd toss it off to.
Yep, and I agree with your rating too. I'm gonna give this, about 2.5 to 3. This was absolutely a dominating performance, no doubt about it. Great match, great performance again by Ronda Rousey. Nothing more to say. And am I shocked that happened? No. Well, I kind of was a little apprehensive about siding with Ronda Rousey because I didn't know how they were going to play this, because of the fact that, there's a lot of rumors going around about what they're going to do with Evolution. There's a rumor that it's going to be Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey, possibly for the Raw Women's title now. I mean, I heard that rumor. You know, obviously, we were wondering what they were going to do with Natalya, but we didn't expect Natalya to be there tonight, and she did. She showed up. That was a major shocker for all of us because none of us heard that Natalya was going to be it, that was even in Brooklyn, New York. So that's even a bigger shocker is that they were able to get her in. Obviously, with everything that happened with her father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, like Dee Dee said, thank God it did not go the route of trying to screw give the warm wishes, the warm love, give all the support to Natalya because she definitely deserves it right now. Maybe have her do a heel sometime down the line, maybe not now. I think they're gonna probably push it back, and then we'll probably see it maybe next month at Hell in a Cell. They might do the turn. I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens, but it was very awesome to see Natalya there. Ronda looks like a bona fide champion now. She cements herself as definitely one of the top women in WWE. Plus, there was a heartwarming moment with the Bella twins at the end. A lot of the fans kind of boo the Bellas, and I get it. The Bellas are not welcome in New York. It's kind of one of those weird things. So they were booing the Bellas. They were showing the love to Natalya. Then there was that moment where she was with her husband, and look, fine. I'm not gonna poo poo over that, even though a lot of the fans were booing the daylights out of Travis Brown, the UFC fighter, her husband. It was a heartwarming moment. I don't think there's really nothing more to say about it. She even said that she needed to get away. I need to see my husband. We didn't know where he was. Right down at ringside, right near the commentator's table, right next to where the ring announce pit, as I like to call it, is. He was right there to share the moment with his wife. And now the new Raw Women's Champion, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Great moment nonetheless. Of course, now there's that fear. Is she going to defend the title every month now? Or is she going to be a part-time? I don't think you got to worry about Ronda Rousey. I think, unlike, with the Brock Lesnar thing, of course there is that fear, but I don't think so. I think you'll get to see her defend the title at Hell in a Cell. You'll get to see her defend the title at Evolution, Survivor Series. I think you're gonna see the title defended every month. I think you're gonna see Ronda put the belt on the line. Who are they going to put her up against now? That's the big question. Obviously, maybe Natalya will be the next in line. Maybe Alexa, because she is kind of guaranteed a rematch for the title. Even though I don't think Alexa is probably going to ever want another shot after what happened tonight. But we'll wait and see what happens. All right, guys. So, Anthony, it's yours. Give me your thoughts.
I'm going to give it a solid 3. I mean, it was good stuff. I mean, complete domination from Ronda. I mean, it was exactly what it needed to be. That crowd was in the palm of her hands the entire time, a great presence. And I know for Michael Bullock and Dee Woodson, Alexa Bliss got what was coming to her. They didn't overthink the post-match. I mean, now I'm one on the Alexa bandwagon, like MF is, and I consider her at the very top of the women's division in terms of character and overall package. But as the heel, there are those times, including tonight, where you need to get what you deserve. That never happened against Nia Jax. Here, she got wrecked and tapped out to an armbar. Great booking. I mean, the Rowdy one gets her moment. The new Raw Women's Champion. Yes, I'll be honest. I do have that little bit of concern. That she could be, she could do to the Raw Women's Championship what Brock Lesnar had done to the Universal title, but like MF said, I got faith in her. I mean, I've always been high on the Rowdy one ever since, you know, she made me look like a genius when she beat Misha Tate years ago. So, big moment for her, great moment. So, and there was a small part of me that was worried when I heard that the Bellas were going to be sitting front row. I'm like, oh God, don't tell me they're going to screw Ronda. They had, I would have gone on an even bigger rant than what Dee went on about the WWE Championship match. That's all I could have said about that. So, but thank goodness that did not happen. And Natty, great moment. So, all around great. Banner night for Michael Bowles and Dee Woodson. Their 2 long national nightmares are over. Carmella, no longer SmackDown Women's Champion. Alexa Bliss, no longer the Raw Women's Champion. And I guess that dirt sheet I shared with you all a few weeks ago was true. So WWE got the 2 big names that they wanted. I think the Rowdy one and the Queen are gonna go into Evolution with their respective titles. So perfect. So nothing more to say on that. MF main event time.
Oh my God! Hold up! Timeout! Stop! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Something wrong?
Okay, no. Check your chat box.
Oh, Alexa tweeted it was beginner's luck. Please.
Yeah.
You got beat fair and square, darling. You got beat fair and square.
Oh my God! I can't believe. Okay, thank you, Dee Woodson, for giving us the comic relief of the night. Yes, Alexa Bliss did tweet on her Twitter page that it was beginner's luck that Ronda Rousey beat her tonight. Once you reviewed the tape or look this back on WWE Network, honey, first off, fix your arm because I think it got ripped out of your socket at one point in the fight, and then we'll get into that. Main event of SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Then Braun Strowman came out, and we're like, are we about to have ourselves a triple threat? No. Braun's like, whoever wins the fight, you're going to have to deal with me later on. Well, that didn't happen because during the fight, Brock Lesnar destroyed Roman Reigns and then literally chucked the Money in the Bank briefcase from the Barclays Center all the way to practically the Brooklyn Bridge. He chucked it a mile. That means that Money in the Bank was not going to be cashed in tonight, which meant, yeah, we're going to have a one-on-one brawl. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout and new Universal Champion Roman Reigns. The Roman Empire now rules Monday Night Raw. And I believe it goes to Dee Woodson to lead this off. Dee, history made. And now the Universal title is probably going to be now a regular fixture on Monday Night Raw from now on. We have a new champion.
Yeah, Raw finally got their title back. And we finally got Heyman to shut up because his guy isn't the reigning and defending, or however many times he said it, champion anymore. He's not going to do what he wanted to do, which is go to UFC with the WWE title so that he could win the other title so that he could say he's the double crown champ. Nah, not going to happen. Lesnar lost focus on what was important, which was the match with Reigns, to go beat up on Strowman, who's just sitting outside waiting patiently for his chance to destroy whoever won. So that when he turned around to come back into the ring, he had a little surprise waiting for him by Roman Reigns knocking him out. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to give this probably about 2.5 stars. It wasn't the best fight in the world, but I think we all got the outcome we wanted, which was Lesnar losing. I don't think anybody really cared who got the title, although the fans certainly didn't like neither Lesnar or Reigns, but I think they would rather have Reigns having the title than the champion who never shows up and defends the title about 3-4 times a year. So yeah, the better man definitely won, and now we have to wait and see when that cash-in is going to happen, since pretty much Brock destroyed Strowman enough to where the cash-in certainly didn't happen tonight. So we'll see. It could happen tomorrow night on Raw. It could happen our next pay-per-view. We'll see. So I
Could be
guess
as soon as tomorrow night. You don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be as soon as tomorrow night. Roman Reigns has done it. He's the new Universal Champion. 2.5 stars is my rating for the main event. It was a very fast-paced fight. I mean, it was a lot more faster, a lot more what you didn't really expect it to go the way that it did. It came out wicked fast, almost on a blitz to start out. Then it kind of slowed at a moment, but at the end of the day, we saw history made, crowning of a new champion. Congratulations, Roman Reigns. And if you're Braun Strowman, you're thinking, oh my God, I got to get another shot at this. So we'll wait and see what happens. But at the end of the day, yes, new champion, Roman Reigns. Anthony Fleo's absolutely beside himself because of the fact that for once, for the first time in how many years? About a couple of years now? At least now the Universal title will now be defended on a more regular, almost every week basis, if you want to think about it. But yeah, the title now belongs to the Roman Empire for now, and we'll just wait and see what happens in the near future. But Anthony Fleo, go ahead. It's all yours. New champion is Roman Reigns.
At long last, my long national nightmare is over. I got to do it as the holy roll here. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. About time. Jeez. I mean, 504 days. Kurt Angle said it best. Worst Universal Champion ever. He'd only defended the title every 5 or 6 months like clockwork. Yeah. So, but at long last, Monday Night Raw and my fellow Raw fans, we finally have what we've been wanting for the last year and a half, a full-time Universal Champion on Monday Night Raw. This is my moment of the night. Michael Bullock and Didi Woodson, you can have, your women's moments with Carmella and Alexa getting their comeuppances. But for me, my moment, seeing the Universal Championship no longer held hostage, and now we finally have a full-time champion. Like I said, I didn't care who it was, as long as it wasn't Brock Lesnar. I was rooting for Strowman, honestly, but hey, sooner or later, you knew the big dog was going to finally get his moment, and he did. 2 to 2.5 for the fight. It was another one of their bouts, but thankfully they kept it short enough to not be awful. The finish was kind of flat after everything they've been through, but I'll take it over what we saw at WrestleMania, kicking out of 50 F5s and 50 spears, respectively. I'm glad we didn't have to endure that again. But I do feel bad for Strowman. Strowman tweeted out a little bit ago, objective remains the same, new target acquired. I still have my contract, and someone is going to get these hands. Yeah, that big dog? You got a monster coming for you. And the last time you two got together, you had some hella fun. So I'm hoping for that. So, man alive, I mean, thank you, Jesus. That's all I can say about that. I'm so happy we finally have a full-time champion. Hopefully this is the end of the Reigns and Lesnar feud for good. And it's onward and upward. The big dog finally got his bone to chew on. So, long overdue. So, Thank you, Lord. So 2 to 2.5. Michael Bullock, I mean, after almost a year and a half, praise the Lord, we finally have a full-time Universal.
Yes, it's about time. I mean, like you said, the Universal title has like been held hostage for over 500 days, and by a part timer. But now we finally have a full time Universal Champion, and who knows? Maybe with that, maybe Monday Night Raw will finally start to get better. But we'll just have to wait and see on that. But yeah, 2.5. But yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So let's just move on.
It's time for the overall review of SummerSlam, and it leads off. I guess I lead it off. Solid show. Very good SummerSlam. Nowhere near the near perfection that was NXT TakeOver Brooklyn last night. And we'll get into that on Tuesday night for Cerebral Smack Talk. I'll add that as our special Mikey's Mindset. But at the end of the day, congratulations to all the winners and everybody else. And for WWE, you guys actually did a pretty good job with this night. Started off with a red hot fight for the Intercontinental title. The 3 SmackDown fights were very good. Of course, we can't say much. We can't say nothing bad about the main event. I mean, it was solid for what it was worth because of the fact of the champions who won the titles tonight. That's going to bring a lot of credibility back to Monday Night Raw, no doubt about it. So for me, the overall rating for tonight's SummerSlam 2018, I gotta say 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I thought this was a solid show. Could have been a little better. Of course, there was a couple of fights that were that we're not going to talk about. But overall, like Anthony said, one major great match on the Raw side, which was the Intercontinental title fight. But for most of the night, we can say it, other than some clunky finishes on the SmackDown end, SmackDown wins the night, at least when it comes to overall match quality, with everything that they did, the psychology. You can definitely say SmackDown had a better night than Raw, but Raw definitely had one of the best matches of the evening with the Intercontinental title fight. 7.5 is my rating. Anthony, I give it to you.
I agree. 7 to 7.5. I mean, very good show. I mean, far better than Extreme Rules. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. That was god awful, but thankfully this was better. I mean, usually I'm not happy about these, marathon pay-per-views that we've been getting, but it did suffer a bit, but it wasn't front loaded the way the others were. I mean, there was a consistent pace and a lot of good matches on the show. Miz and Daniel Bryan and the Intercontinental bouts both were instant classics and both need to be seen. The only thing that was flat out bad was the Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, and it was over quick. And Demon Finn Balor, you had a feeling he was going to show up. Bunch of good quality wrestling matches. I mean, so top 2 fights, definitely the Intercontinental bout and Miz and Bryan. We got some other good matches as well. AJ and Joe, despite the DQ finish, very good match. That triple threat for the SmackDown Women's title, over-delivered, sleeper fight of the night. Really surprised the hell out of me. Pleasantly surprised. And, both shows had low points. Monday Night Raw only had one good match on the card. All the other matches were, pretty much squashes, almost cutout type fights. But Raw did have a banner night still. I mean, Seth Rollins, the new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Ronda Rousey, wins the women's title. Alexa Bliss gets her comeuppance. But the one thing that really made it a banner night for Monday Night Raw is we finally have a full-time Universal Champion. Thank you, Lord, again. So that's all I can say on that. Yes, SmackDown Live was better in terms of match quality. And, but they had some low points too, MF. I mean, you're not out of the woods here entirely. 2 disqualification finishes. You definitely have to consider that. But if we didn't have those 2 DQ finishes, and if we didn't have all those other blast fights, this would have gone up there as one of the greatest of all time. But not really. So if you're short for time, and I know a lot of people are, Intercontinental fight, Miz and Bryan, WWE Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship. Those are the 4 matches that you got to go out of your way to see. And I don't know if I'm missing anything, but yeah. So that's pretty much all I can say on that. So I agree with MF's rating, 7 to 7.5. A solid SummerSlam. Not overly spectacular, but it was a solid SummerSlam, a newsworthy SummerSlam, especially on Monday Night Raw's side. 3 new champions crowned, all 3 of them beyond deserving, especially our new Universal Champion. Praise the Lord that we finally have a full-time champion. That's the one thing that I'm going to remember from the SummerSlam forever. So, Michael Bullock, 7.5 for me. So, Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. 7 to 7.5. I mean, this was a good show. I mean, but definitely, I mean, I would still have to say NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 was better. But like I said, we'll talk about it Tuesday night on the Cerebral Smack Talk. But yeah, I mean, with the exception of the 2 cutouts that we mentioned, everything I thought was good to great. So yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree with the rating. It was, it wasn't NXT quality, but compared to a lot of the other match or shows where we've had NXT, then the pay-per-view, we had definitely a better pay-per-view this time for WWE. But no, NXT still knocked it out of the park. Even though, Corbin and Balor was a low point, it still was great to see that, the progression of how the storyline has now come to where it is now, to where we actually had Demon Balor coming out instead of Finn. And I just had this feeling as we were watching Raw with Corbin degrading Finn the way he was, that we were going to get to that point. And, that wasn't the normal Demon Balor makeup. I mean, it had a touch of his other character in that makeup. So it was good to see, that he got to that level and that he did finally end that storyline, even though, it was a cutout because 1, it was one-sided, and 2, it just wasn't wasn't great, wasn't placed in a good spot. Most of the matches were really good, except for a few low points. Had some good segments. Like I said, I got a big kick out of Elias. The first time Elias kind of shut himself up. So, yeah, that's got to be pretty good. But, yeah, great show. I'm not going to knock SmackDown for the DQs, because the DQs, at least, yeah, both of them, I'd say, were kind of, they weren't bad DQs. They weren't that bad. I'll just put it that way. Especially AJ's. That was pretty much called for just because of how Joe handled himself. So, but yeah, SmackDown definitely won the night. But I mean, Raw, in a different way, they won the night just because of the fact that they have their main title back. They have a women's champion now that's respectable. So yeah, I mean, it was still ended up being. Oh, and of course, Seth Rollins. That was one heck of a match there. So really, it was. Both shows in their own way won the night. One won the night in the way the titles went, and the other one the night in storyline quality matches. So yeah, great night. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Next.
All right, guys, and that's it. We're done for the night. Anthony Floyo will be hosting Ridiculously Raw tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern, immediately following Monday Night Raw. We have the fallout from SummerSlam on Monday Night Raw. We also have the Tony's Take 205 Live. We also got some Impact stuff. And then you guys can come back here on Tuesday night for the Cerebral Smack Talk. I will be hosting it, and I'm going to have, of course, SmackDown Live, the fallout from SummerSlam. We also are going to have the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 recap on the Mikey's Mindset. I also got some RWA stuff from Commemorization that went down on Saturday as well. And that is it, guys. So until then, thank you, Indian Floyd. Thank you, Didi Whitson. Thank you, Michael Bullock, as always. And for all you great fans out there, like the video, leave a comment at the bottom. What was your favorite match of SummerSlam 2018? Share it with all your friends on all social media platforms. And until then, have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.